is the Disinformation Network. Yesterday we did how Stephen Hawking has had ALS for 55 years and he's still kicking it. Just so happens the smartest guy on the earth somehow can live 5.5 times longer than anybody else ever on that. And then they said, well, whatever happened to acid rain? Well, it turns out they basically explained that nothing. They just don't talk about it anymore. And about 40% of my friends will actually know why. Because you really don't talk about something that we contribute many ways to. But, you know, the acidity of what is falling on everywhere, like, you know, California, what they've done there is, you know, ridiculous, and it's sad. That's a really bad thing, but if you want to watch that, you could. That's D-News, disinformation of why they don't, whatever happened to it, they just don't talk about it anymore. But what really got me was, what is China doing in space? Like, meaning, what have they been doing? Yesterday they uploaded this, and it's information, so I said, you know, are they going to lie? Like, what is China doing in space? I don't know, are they going to the moon? They're going to send people to the moon? Men? Out or in space or whatever? Turns out, no, it was pretty realistic. They sent 2 guys 180 miles up to their own space station because for some reason they couldn't dock up to the ISS. It was not allowed. Although we do a fair amount of trade with China during the year, it was against the law for China to let, have China come up there and with us and Russia in a space station. Period. Now, that is going to be the biggest thing. How are we in a space station with the Russians if we're going to try to start World War III with them? That should tell you something. What is going to happen? If we start World War III down here, will they start like fist fighting up in the space station? The cosmonauts and our astronauts will start kicking each other's asses. I mean, oh boy. It's not funny because we really are doing that. But you should watch this China thing. They put 2 men up into a space station. The longest that they ever stayed there was 12 hours. And it was only 180 feet away. 180 miles away, sorry. 180 miles. Supposedly the ISS is 230 miles away from the Earth. And no one's been further than 370, 400 miles except for the moon missions, the Apollo missions. Instead of going 400 miles, which nobody's near that even now, they said that they went 240,000 miles each way in a loop-de-loop configuration, so they ended up going almost 900,000 miles. Rather than going 230 miles each way to the space station. Shit, I'll ride my bike. Especially to the Chinese space station, 180 miles up. I mean, this is realistic. And they actually, the best realistic part is that it's broken and it's going to come down later part of 2017. Because it's broken, they can't even communicate with it. That's realistic shit. But what is China doing in space? Nothing. What is anyone doing in space? Nothing.